Welcome to our next adventure with Kimology 411, a podcast of anything and what is Tyson doing now?
Kim, quick, get in!
Hey Tyson, you better back up. What exactly are our plans?
Plans? Where we're going, we don't need any plans. It's an excursion on Kimology 411!
Welcome to another excursion of Kimology 411. This excursion, I am here with my friend Bob Ross, and he is the Senior Vice President of the Greater Topeka Partnership. And if you don't know what that is, we're going to get into it a little bit so he can tell you all the awesome things that they're doing for the city of Topeka. Hi, Bob. How are you?
Doing very good. Glad to be here.
Good. So we've talked before in the past at the very beginning of all the stuff that's going on with this chaos of the pandemic and the virus and stuff like that. And now we're getting to the point where we've done it for a while. We might have more options and stuff like that. Can you tell my Kimology guests exactly what is the Greater Topeka Partnership?
Sure. You know, the Greater Topeka Partnership is an organization that brought together the tourism arm, which is Visit Topeka, with the economic development arm, which is Go Topeka, and small business, as well as downtown Topeka, the Chamber of Commerce. So in a lot of communities, these entities are separate and oftentimes fight with each other for traction and influence. And what's been exciting about our community is that everyone kind of essentially joined forces, and this has allowed a lot more synergy and partnership, and it's allowing everyone to reach the same goal faster.
Right. And I've been in Topeka for a long time, so I dealt with the fighting between all the organizations.
Yeah.
And so when they did come together, it made perfect sense to me, because one place would say, that's not my big deal, that's not my problem. And then they'd send them over to somebody else. And then some problems just had nowhere to go. They just kind of shoved us all around.
It's funny because we have a new president of Visit Topeka, and he's from a past experience where their organizations were separate from the economic development team. And you can tell he's still almost a little PTSD from that experience, because he's asking me questions if he thinks the Go Topeka team would be comfortable with him using some of their assets. I'm like, of course they would. We're a team.
Right.
And it actually allows us to take some of the lifestyle pieces that we've done for Go Topeka and allow Visit Topeka to be stronger. And seeing that, that's the value of a partnership. And honestly, I think when you look at Topeka over the last 5 years, in some ways, honestly, the partnership's been helpful in pushing down those walls so that everyone can just work towards a common goal.
Right.
And it's helping the community move forward.
Right. Well, and it's you're not like you're trying to get hurt. Like, so you're stepping on someone's toes. And Topeka, we're not a huge city, but we are a functioning city. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Even though we get a lot of bad credit of people, we have nothing here. I've been here my whole life, and we've got so many different things going on. So that I think is cool. It was a little bumpy at first to get used to it, because like you said, when you're used to somebody doing something and then, you know, you're kind of like, you can read our files, because how is that? And it did take a little while. It took me a little while to get used to it.
Yeah.
Because I was
I'll tell you, that's even something with Visit Topeka we've been thinking about, that I don't even think Topeka's done the greatest job of selling itself to the region and actually telling people around the area just everything there is to do. Because I brought that up in a meeting today, that there are people that are still saying, what's there to do in Topeka? And actually, having just moved back here from Houston, I'm like, there's so much we don't even give ourselves credit for. And honestly, the region doesn't give us credit for, because we haven't done a good job of telling that story to our friends in Manhattan and Lawrence and Kansas City. So.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I've worked years trying to help promote
Yeah.
Just inside Topeka.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I'm not even trying to bring people into Topeka. I'm just trying to get people to realize what we have here and to use what we have. And there's, I think it's weird because so many people never do what's in their own city. So like when I travel, I'm like, hey, let's go to this museum. And people that have lived there are like, we've never been. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's 4 miles from your house. So we drive by all the time. And so that's one thing in Topeka. I try to get to every single thing so I can tell them how great Brown v. Board is. Or Evel Knievel Museum. Oh my gosh, I cannot get enough of that. So I think it's great to be able to have to have a bunch of people being able to work together. It also shows, like in the group that we're getting ready to go into, my biggest thing with the restaurant owners is I know that they all look at each other like, I don't want to give you my secrets because I'm out for myself. With the virus going on, I started this way before that. And I kept telling them, if we could make Topeka the city of food, because you are all awesome, if we can promote that all together, then we will have more business because people will come in if we can make that into a theme. And so that's kind of what this group that we're getting ready to go into was all about. But here's the deal. We had the COVID thing happen. So everything kind of got put on the back.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel that every single day now.
Yeah, it's like, well, we'll get around to it. And I still haven't let it go. But what I have figured out with this COVID stuff is I needed to stop, slow down, and rethink some stuff and take more time instead of rushing into something. So I'm getting more time to actually come up with a better plan. So I can't complain too much, but I've got a lot of, business owners that might not be around. And I'm hoping that together as a community, we can work together and get them back up and help them get through the hard times. So anyway, all right, well, we're going to go live into this thing. So I'm going to put a little topic here. With the Topeka Partnership. Is the senior VP. All right, let's see here. And a title, Tuesday at 2. And we're going to go and go live. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
We always sit here and we just wait. And we're setting up. And I come in here. It's like you have to have like 9 screens to do this. Hey everyone, we are live for Tuesday at 2 in my restaurant owners group. I hope that some of you guys can join us. If not, welcome to watch this whenever you can. I try to do this so that you guys all have a chance to come in and find out all the cool things that are available to you. Today I have my friend Bob Ross. He is the Senior VP for the Topeka Greater Partnership, and he and I are going to talk just a little bit about what they have going on and some different things that possibly maybe that you didn't know about, or who you can contact if you have questions or anything like that. So once again, welcome to my restaurant group.
Thanks for having me.
We have over 90 different restaurants in this group. I do not discriminate. They could be corporate, they can be anything, as long as they're within 30 miles radius of Topeka. They can come in this group, and we just try to educate them on a lot of different things. So the first thing is can you tell this group a little bit about what your position is? What do you do at the Greater Partnership?
Sure. So I'm the head of marketing for the Greater Topeka Partnership, and that organization promotes tourism, small businesses, the Chamber of Commerce, economic development. Really, it's a nexus for a lot of the activity and progress that's happening within the city. And we are really charged with being ambassadors for the community and really promoting the city and its businesses as a place to come and live and work and play. Awesome.
And so most of the people in this group know that the Greater Partnership is made up of the Topeka Chamber, DTI, Visit Topeka, and Go Topeka. And it says you're the VP with all of them, or are you pretty much with just the chamber? Which
Sure. Yeah. So I'm the senior VP for the organization. So pretty much all marketing funnels through me, and I'm really charged with making sure that we're putting out a consistent message across all entities, so that Visit Topeka, Choose Topeka, which is our economic development and talent attraction campaign, and Downtown Topeka are all projecting the same story about what our community is. And so we're really trying to make sure that we're being consistent in how we communicate what our community is and what we have to offer.
Awesome. So, so you're talking with marketing and stuff like that, and I'm not exactly sure how all this works, but I think I saw, and I see so much stuff. Are you guys doing something that could possibly help some of the local businesses market themselves? Is there something that with the always or new that the restaurant owners maybe should know about?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it depends on the type of sector. Obviously, our downtown businesses, our organization is always working to help promote those. But as a broader community, there's actually a couple things that we've done to try to be more innovative. We actually started a program called Travel Together with our friends in Lawrence. And the goal is to promote Topeka restaurants and businesses to the Lawrence crowd. And then honestly, the Lawrence team would be promoting their businesses to us. And the main thing is to begin to start, as people are limiting their travel with COVID, to find ways to communicate and move back and forth across our area, because we really want those Lawrence residents to start to discover Topeka as a place to come eat, because it's still building that brand awareness about what we are as a community and what we have to offer. So that's a new program that we're doing with Visit Topeka. And we just piloted it about 3 weeks ago, in which we have a select number of restaurants that were featured on it. The goal is that when we do it again, we'll be able to put a broader net out, and so that more restaurants can participate and offer certain discounts or special deals to Lawrence travelers. So that's one particular way that we're doing to try to drive more attention to the city.
Awesome. See, and like with this group right here, actually, we do have actually 1 or 2 Lawrence restaurants in here.
Yeah.
Because they're 30 miles around Topeka. Yeah. Because I do feel we're in Topeka, and when you go down to Kansas City, and I go there all the time, you've got, Olathe, Lenexa, that Johnson County area, they kind of run into each other. And when I was growing up in Topeka, we were supposed to move east, but we moved west. I don't know why, but my whole life, because I went to Shawnee Heights, the whole intention was for Lawrence to come our way and for us to be like a suburb of Lawrence, and kind of, and Topeka went the other way. And I was just like, oh, come back. And I can say that we were out that way. The people that lived out there, they fought against it. So it wasn't like anybody did it on purpose. It was they didn't want to go that way. They didn't understand economic development. They just wanted their peace and quiet. And now they're like, why don't you come out this way? And we're like, we tried.
Yeah, I will tell you that's one thing I went to KU. I love our friends in Lawrence. And honestly, Topeka and Lawrence really are sister cities ever since the beginning of the state. I mean, we really rely on each other. We complement each other, and probably drive each other nuts a little bit too. And that's why, honestly, the pandemic was a unique opportunity for us to kind of break down some barriers and really work with the Explore Lawrence team and realize we are so much stronger together. And even as they found in Lawrence, up to 40% of their business on Mass Street is coming from Topeka. So it's a way of making sure that everyone in Topeka and Lawrence feels safe and that they can shop with each other and support one another. And it just helps us all grow.
Right, because it seems like everybody travels east. So Lawrence goes to Kansas City, Topeka comes here, Fulton and those guys come to Topeka. That's kind of the shift. And so to make the shift change, and
we're trying.
Come this
whole goal.
Yeah,
the exciting thing next year is that we're going to really try to do a really concerted campaign to really target Lawrence and Kansas City and help them realize just what Topeka has to offer. Because you're absolutely right. Everyone drives east. But if you ask a person in Kansas City, have you been to Topeka? Nope. Because they don't really leave their bubble.
No, and it's funny because I go to Kansas City probably at least once a week, if not twice a week, and no problem. And when I'm down in Kansas City and I meet somebody and they're like, You came all the way from Topeka?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
It's funny.
go ahead.
We had a soccer team, and they were playing in Kansas City, as they often do. And they had a game in Topeka. And so the soccer moms were thinking, oh, we have a road trip to Topeka. Maybe we should pack a lunch. We can stop halfway, eat. I'm like, it's 45 minutes. You realize that. It's literally 45 minutes to the Legends. You'll be fine. It's not that far, but it's funny. I've worked with a couple of our partners in Kansas City, and we're beginning to make them aware that really Topeka's less than an hour away, and their minds are blown.
Yeah.
And so it's in fact, actually for New Year's Eve, we had a business partner who had just moved from New York to Kansas City, and he was looking for something to do. He's like, there's really nothing in Kansas City for me to do. I'm like, come here. We'll put you up at the Cyrus. I was like, they're doing a great party at the Cyrus Hotel, and he absolutely loved it. Him and his wife had a great time in Topeka. They loved the Cyrus. And my goal is one day we'll be able to do some kind of fireworks display downtown to really get people excited on New Year's Eve.
To get it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I did the calendar for years of all the stuff going on and state-of-the-art museums and stuff like that. And that's why I put together the restaurants, because my goal is to actually do some just promoting the flavor of Topeka,
Yeah.
and put it out there in a restaurant guide, so that everybody comes together. You got pictures. It's not on the web. I am putting together a whole presentation about how the internet and computers need to go away. Like, put your phone down, pick up the book, and flip through and look at the actual pictures of stuff. Like, we need to go back to the old times. So one of my presentations is like that. And you can't, like, the promotion is to put something like that in a restaurant. People that are eating out can grab the little book thing, and they're going to put it in their purse, and then they can flip through it. I can't advertise and hope that you find me on my phone, on your phone.
Yep.
So I've got a bunch of different things that I want to work on, because I truly believe that restaurants are the number one entertainment ever for anywhere. They're it. I mean, everyone uses eating out as entertainment. Some people do it all the time. I don't eat out that much, but when I go out, you go out to the theater, you go out to eat, then you go to the theater. But you don't even have to go to the theater. You can just go out to eat. You can go out for just a glass of wine. You can do that. So these restaurants, we need people to understand, A, that they're important, B, who we have. It's amazing to me how many people, when I'll say, hey, let's go over to Oakland and go to the pizza place, and they're like, oh, when did that open? I don't know, 1962? I mean, forever. And
it's funny, I just saw it myself, and I was driving through Oakland, and I'm like, this is a very cool area of town. And that pizza parlor had that really iconic black and white painted sign. I'm like, this is a really legit area. And I grew up in Topeka too, and never went over there except for Fiesta. And so it is part of that thing, how you have, we're almost our own worst enemies in Topeka, because we stick to what we know.
Right.
And we honestly don't get into certain neighborhoods that have amazing things. So you're right.
Yeah, well, it's in Topeka, it's not, I don't want to drive to Kansas City. Someone will go, but I have to go all the way to North Topeka across the bridge.
It's true. It's funny. I always remember when I was a kid, the very first time I drove across the North Topeka Bridge, I was like 17 and in high school. And I'm like, there's another side to Topeka? They have a Kmart? What is this? It's like a whole other town. And I remember my friends like, you're a moron. But I'm like, I was a Washburn Rural kid out in West Topeka. And literally I was like driving across the North Topeka Bridge like, holy wow, this is amazing. There's a whole other place here. And you're absolutely right. It's amazing that it took me that long to even realize in my own town there was such diversity.
Oh yeah, because you've got like you said, you have your bubble, and you know, when we came into town, we would just go to 29th in California, and we stayed in a place called Highland Village, and that's where we went. And some people went to the Boulevard, and we had a brand new Kmart, but we never went to the rich Kmart. Like we were like, we're not going to the West Kmart. When you could drive all the way out to Wanamaker, it was a field. So Topeka is grown, and so I'm hoping that the restaurants can figure out, like all the different things that you guys are going to have available. And hopefully when you guys start working with restaurants, you guys can come back, because I really think, and I met with Matt before all this happened and was telling him my ideas about, like, restaurants are very important. We've got attractions, and that's great. And Visit Topeka will be hopefully working on rising the attendance to the attractions that we have, because even the people in Topeka don't know. And if we can even work together with the attractions and the restaurants like we used to, because probably years ago we had the Tourism Alliance, and that's what we did, is restaurants and the attractions would all work together. And it was a group that was made through Visit Topeka to promote internal. And so I'm really hoping that we can do more of that, because we can't do this on our own. Restaurant owners, we're too small, and I can't do it all. I don't have a budget to do any of this stuff. I just have ideas, and I think with the power of the people, get the restaurants to work together and partner and promote each other. I just there's no ending of what we could possibly do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited. So so we have that promotion. Is there anything else? Is there anything that they could reach out? I mean, is there anything? What can they do?
I think it's very important also, any business in Topeka is aware of what Go Topeka can do for them, in terms of especially what Glenda Washington, our Chief Equity and Opportunity Officer, she's charged with empowering small businesses to really grow and help them to really connect to whatever incentives or grants or any kind of programs that might be out there to help them to thrive. And we always encourage anyone to reach out to her office. And like I said, that's Glenda Washington. And you can find information for her. Her email address is glenda.washington@topekapartnership.com. But also, this year the partnership launched what we called the HOST program, which was essentially a grant program designed to help a lot of businesses manage the impact of COVID. And it was disproportionately geared towards restaurants that were so hit hard during the lockdowns, in which we bought $5,000 in gift cards from restaurants in Topeka and then gave them to people that lost their jobs. There was a public side to that, though, where small businesses could apply for grants to help them with any costs or expenses that actually happened because of COVID, and they're eligible for up to $5,000. That money is still not all distributed. There's still probably a good $250,000 or more of grant money left. And so it is important that if there is a small business here that was impacted by COVID that has not reached out to the HOST program, to go to supporttopeka.com/host, and you can apply there for the public grants, and you can receive up to $5,000 to just give you some relief from some of the money that you either lost because of COVID or changes in your business model that you had to make, PPE that you had to buy. And it's a really, I think, important gesture that no other city in Kansas made the effort to do. And I was proud. I mean, this community really raised $2 million to really help our small businesses survive COVID. And there's still a significant amount of money left available for them to be able to participate.
Well, actually, our restaurant got some of that money. We have the two restaurants. So I wasn't sure. I know that I've sent people to go do some kind of money, not here, but other places. Yeah. And then they come back to me mad because they didn't know it. So that's really good. So if you're listening to this, it's a very simple application, because I did it over the phone with my brother to help him out. Definitely, if you guys, it's a grant, so you're not paying it back. The community stepped up. I thought it was amazing how the community came together, and I know that they'll even do more. Like, this isn't over yet. I just don't think people even realize the heart and soul that we have in Topeka. That some amazing people, and you don't know who they are because they don't brag about it. They just kind of help, and that's what I love about Topeka. And so, if you guys are listening right now, you guys need to give them the website again.
Yeah, go to supporttopeka.com/host and apply for those public grant dollars that are still out there, and you can receive up to $5,000.
Yes. And if you guys have any questions about that, you always contact me. I will find the link and I will send you the link because I was on the phone with my brother and we were talking about the PPP and we were talking about the EIDL. And I said, I saw on Facebook there was something at the chamber. Let's go check that out.
Yep.
And then my brother was like, you have to help me with this. And so I made him do it, but I gave him the information because it's his restaurant. And it was a few weeks later, but we got some money. So I think anything helps, whether, even $1,000, $500. If you guys, I'm telling you that you need to check out all the different cool things that the chamber has. You guys even have different grants, and I don't know if those are still available or not, but I know that you used to have for the education, the ones for advertising, $1,000 and all that. There's so many ones on there. And is Glenda still doing that, or because I thought she's still doing that? Okay.
Yeah, so she's tasked with also doing essentially equity and opportunity outreach for minority businesses. But yes, she also heads up the small business team. Perfect. And all of entrepreneurship and development. So yes, definitely reaching out to that team is really important. If you have questions about how can I help my business grow, her and her team can help you think through that, and also connect you even to the Washburn Small Business Team. There are so many assets in this community that will help those, and especially if you're a restaurant owner, help you to become what you want to become.
Right. I'm nonstop. People come to me all the time wanting me to do something, and I will not recreate the wheel. I'm always saying, oh, you need a business plan, then you need to go talk to Washburn Small Business, and those guys over there can help you because I work with them as well. I think in my mind, we need to get out more and educate people on more. I know that when you do it, you think you're doing a good job, and we really need to let more people know because they're oblivious, especially to Washburn Small Business. Those guys over there are awesome, and I know that Glenda was supposed to be a speaker at one of my groups regarding those things, but COVID canceled everything. So she's still on my list to have her come and talk because I know she likes to speak about everything that she's doing over there. But yeah, if you guys, with your marketing or with training, I've got some training coming up, and that you can get some money for that as well if you're a small business. So the chamber and Go Topeka and Visit Topeka and DTI, all of them are out to make Topeka a better place. And so I am really glad that you came on. So we're going to leave Facebook Live, and and Ruby said thank you. I've got a couple people in here that the reason that we're doing this, that I'm doing these Tuesdays at 2, is these business owners, I'm trying to help them become entrepreneurs and not just employees of themselves.
Yep, absolutely.
And for some of them, these small businesses, especially now, they're doing everything. I went into one of the restaurants the other day. I think there was one person doing everything and then like one person in the kitchen because it wasn't a lot of people there. And they were running around crazy. And I know at the end of our meal, I think my meal was like $9, and I left a $10 tip, just for the fact that we've got to start giving back. And fortunately, I do accounting and only had one of my paying clients because my brothers don't pay me. One of my paying clients is still open. Still closed, but they're hoping to open. They just don't want to open up because they're a bar. But everyone else is still going. They're still not as busy, but they're still working. And I've gotten about 5 new clients because
that's awesome.
They realized in order to get any of these PPP grants and stuff like that, they had to have a profit and loss, and they were like, we didn't have any of that. So I've been working a lot. So I really want this restaurant owners, this group is going to grow, and this group is going to do amazing things. So if you guys are out here and you're listening to this and you need help, reach out to me. I'll connect you to the right people. You can always get a hold of Glenda or Bob at the what's your website for the chamber?
Yeah, so you go to topekapartnership.com,
Okay.
and that can give you great information there.
Yeah, so go there. You know, you got to get out, and like the reason that we do these videos here is that you can watch them. They can watch them whenever they want on their time. They can also realize that there's people out there wanting to help them, and that not everybody that calls or walks into your restaurants trying to sell you something. Actually, we're trying to help. So anyway, so I'm going to get out of Facebook. Thank you guys for watching on Facebook. If you have any questions, make sure to get a hold of me. And then, right, that's out of Facebook. So now we're still in my Kimology 411 podcast that we do. So you talked pretty much about everything you talked about was for any business, any small business.
I would say the other thing that we're looking to launch is a retail focus training. So we're talking with Darlene Mitchell, who is offers essentially a merchandising consulting business. She's formerly of Payless here in Topeka, and now she operates out of Dallas. But we're wanting to essentially start to set up training for our small business retailers, how they can take their store to the next level. So really helping them to talk about managing their inventory, buying tips, things on sourcing inventory, because there are a lot of really great small retailers in Topeka that I think could really benefit from this free training to help them really kind of learn from people who have worked in multinational retail organizations and get tips on how to manage their profit and loss statements, how to think like a business and build business plans. So I think it'll be a really great new experience that we're hoping to start launching this fall through a series of webinars. And we're learning to adapt and use Zoom more effectively to reach people because more people can attend if they can just dial in.
Right, and I'll be honest. You know, these big companies that are out there, they have education built into their employees.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the problems that we have as small business owners is we just, we know how to make pie, so we open up our pie store and we just make pie, and we that as business owners, we're doing the self-improvement, the education, the willing to change, and having someone come in, like people will come into your business and be like, we'll come in and we'll change everything and it's $5,000. And the business owners are like, yeah, where am I going to get $5,000? And so, especially right now, if we can take the time and educate them on a more efficient way of doing things, then businesses are going to grow. I have to say that, a year and a half ago, I had like 9 clients and now I have 22.
Wow.
I started my self-education and my coaching. And so you just open the door and there's so many different things that are so easy that you can do that I thought were ridiculous. Now
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I appreciate everything that you guys are doing there. And if you have anything that you need my help on, definitely get a hold of me, because I am Team Topeka. My whole family Team Topeka. And I have, I've got a huge network where I'm at on different things to try to help promote and do what I need to do. I just have to figure out what's going to work, and instead of working against each other, everybody work together. We just have a bigger voice. And so
absolutely.
Anyway, I appreciate you coming on Kimology 411 and speaking with our restaurant owners. I'm sure that they'll appreciate it. Hopefully they'll reach out. I will go find I'll go find the links and just post them in there. I really want them, especially since there's more money available. I didn't know if there was still money available or not. And I think that was awesome for our community. We're just very lucky. So anyway, well, I will let you get back to your day, and I'm going to conclude this excursion on my podcast. If you guys want to, you can go to Kimology 411 on Facebook, join my group. The video will be in there at some point. This will be on a podcast. We have video. And if you want to hear from anybody, if you're a business owner in this in Topeka, if you want to hear from someone, let me know. I'll reach out and I'll get them on the show. That way we can all learn together. We can all work together. Thank you so much, Bob, for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we will talk with you. We'll talk with you soon.
We'll do it again.
All right.
Always fun. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.